JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 24th of August 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's morning session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yeah, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, just a quick update on what's happening here globally in terms of the coronavirus. Now, of course, the so-called leaderboard is still the same. The US and Brazil are leading the way in terms of total infections and deaths. Yep, the number continues to kind of stay on the higher side. However, on a little positive note here, we are seeing a bit of a decline here. So hopefully now this could start shifting a little bit heavier to the downside. But I mean, of course, if we compare it to the June figures here, I mean, we're still quite on the high side. So let's hope for the best here. Now, so jumping into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on here is the Nikkei 225. This index traded today in the positive territory. It managed to remain above this downside resistance line that I kept talking about last week, and of course still we'll keep an eye on this idea where we could see the index reversing back to the upside as long as it continues to trade above this downside line and above this 21-day EMA here shown as the yellow line. This way then we could start considering a move back to the highest point of June, which is around the 23,185 zone, or slightly above that. We do have the highest point of last week, or actually the current highest point of August. There we go, the 23,339 level. So that's where we're going to be looking at. If you're more on the cautious side, you could just wait for a push above this barrier, above this 23,339 territory, because such a move would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and potentially more buyers could be joining in if you see this area a bit of a tricky one. So like I said, for now, we'll still aim for some higher levels, but we'll remain a little bit on the cautious side here, just because we're very close to this downside line still and to this 21-day EMA. So in case this suddenly drops below this and we see the daily candle closing below this downside line and below this 21-day EMA, then, well, I mean, we could consider a bit of a larger move to the downside here, at least towards these EMAs here. But again, for now, we are leaning a little bit more to the upside, but if you want to be a little bit more on the cautious side, you could wait for a push above the current highest point of August near the 23,339 zone, and yep, then we could aim for some higher levels. Now, Shanghai Composite also is trading in the green today. However, unlike Nikkei, Shanghai Composite is still open. We still have around 50 minutes left of trading here, so let's see if the index will be able to stay in the positive territory. Now, one interesting thing here is that, for example, last week I spoke about this index drifting lower and then maybe finding support somewhere near the 21-day EMA, from which it could rebound and push higher. So for now, we are seeing this kind of reversal from this 21-day EMA. We didn't really quite reach that, but it's yeah, we are seeing a bit of a correction here to the upside. And well, I mean, actually, I cannot say it's a correction, but for now we're seeing this move, because for now it's a very tricky one. What we're gonna do here is we'll try to play it safer a little bit. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this 3,409 zone, which is marked by the high of the 11th of August, and if that area continues to provide resistance, then we might see another drop here, and we could see maybe a move again towards the 21-day EMA. But if that gets broken, then yep, a further decline could be possible. We'll keep an eye on the 3,336 zone, and of course the 3,307 territory, which I spoke about last week, because we would like to see a break of this area first, or should I say, we like to see in general a break of this area in order to kind of aim for some lower areas, and also preferably a daily close, because as you can see here, back here on the 12th of August, 13th of August, and the 14th of August, we did get these false breakouts. So that's why we would like to see a nice, at least a daily close below that, in order to kind of get a little bit more comfortable with lower areas here. But for now the index seems to be still fighting, or should I say the bulls seem to be fighting still. So if we get a lift back above the 3,409 zone here, then yes, we will aim for the upper side of this range here that I talked about previously, and yep, then we will take it from there, because if we do see a test of this area, then maybe this time we could break it, and yep, we could see a further move higher. So jumping into German DAX, here the index closed on Friday in the red. However, it closed very close to its 21-day EMA, and this level here, the 12,773 territory that I spoke about last week, that I was saying that we needed to see a nice, good, clear break, and ideally a daily close below this area in order to consider a further move lower. However, this little kind of close here fractionally below this kind of keeps us a little bit on our toes, because it makes us a little bit worried that actually the decline might not even happen, and the positivity today in the Chinese markets and in the Japanese markets, in Asia in general, this is kind of helping the index to kind of stay afloat, or should I say, could be helping the index to stay afloat. Looking at the cash index here on the German DAX, the price is currently balancing at around 12,860 zone, so basically above this 12,773 territory, but below this level that I talked a lot about last week, this 12,913 zone. If we get a push back above this area, this level, by the way, is the highest point of June, and if we get a nice push above that, then yes, we could start looking at some higher levels. But of course, we do have a strong obstacle here, which is the current highest point of August, near the 13,100 zone. But if that gets broken, of course, yep, you follow the logic, and yep, for a further move higher, a forthcoming higher high would be confirmed, and maybe more buyers could be joining in. But again, for now, we're stuck here basically. Again, we are trading somewhere not far from this 21-day EMA, so we need to see a slightly better move, a slightly better daily close, either above the 12,913 zone or below the 12,773 territory. So once again, keep your eyes on that one. A quick update on DXY. So on Friday we had a nice push here to the upside, so that's great. It came very close to testing the 21-day EMA, but then declined. But to be honest, we'll take that. So last week I told you guys to keep your eyes on this nice reversal that we had here on the 19th of August, which kind of brought the price back inside this previous range. Now, It's no longer range, of course, but I'm just going to keep it for now because it's quite interesting, because it brought it back. Then we saw a bit of a decline, a correction lower, which and you can see that this barrier here acted as a fantastic area of support, this 92.55 level that I mentioned a lot last week, and now there is a chance for DXY to climb higher. Now, of course, we do have a strong obstacle around here near this 93.81 zone. That, just to kind of show you what that level was in the past, that level is the lowest point of September of 2018. So we need to see a nice daily close. We need to see a nice daily close above this area in order to consider maybe a bit of a larger move higher. For now, we'll be very careful. Yes, we could aim for some higher levels, but like I said, there are a bunch of obstacles here, like the 21-day EMA, the 93.81 zone. So a nice good pop above that may increase the chances for DXY to kind of move further north up until this downside line, because let's not forget that still this move higher could be considered as a temporary correction before another leg of selling. And this downside line is taken from the high of the 23rd of March. Now, in case this suddenly drops back below the 92.55 territory and closes the day before it, now this is where it could become very tricky for the bulls, and it could increase the chances of a possible move lower here, a further move lower, I would say. And but for now, it seems that the upside could be the more likely scenario here for now. Also, given that we had a nice positive divergence here as well, as you can see the daily charts with our RSI and the MACD as well. So let's see if the bulls can pick up on this, and or should I say more bulls can pick up on this and drive this one higher. Now, gold, last week I talked about this one, and I was telling you guys that in a way, overall, yes, we are still trading above this medium-term upside support line taken from the low of the 20th of March. So the moment we are seeing this correction after we hit the new all-time high near the 2075 territory, the commodity started correcting lower. It is now approaching this upside support line, or should I say it's very close, but at the same time it's stuck here between these two lines. So yep, for now, in a way, we could consider maybe a bit of a larger move to the downside here up until this upside line, and then if that provides a decent support again, then we could see a nice reversal and push higher. For those who are more on the cautious side, you could wait for a push above the 1981 level and then aim for some higher areas. But again, for now, it is how it is. Probably we'll take a bit of a maybe neutral stand here. Now, Litecoin is trying to make its way higher. On Saturday and Sunday, we saw the crypto moving away from this upside. From this 21-day EMA. I talked about this crypto last week. This is exactly what I was saying. That in a way, we'll keep an eye on the 21-day EMA first. But if the 21-day EMA fails to provide support, the last kind of area where the bulls could step in could be near this upside support line taken from the low of the 21st of July. For now, it is a very tricky spot here, to be honest. Of course, overall we can say that this could move back to the upside, and still could, as long as it remains above this 21-day EMA. If it starts dropping below this, then this is where it could become a little bit tricky here, and of course, like I said, we'll keep an eye on this upside line. But if that gets broken, then yep, well, further declines could be possible, guys. Jumping into a few pairs, AUDUSD here, and you can see that the US dollar is kind of having its effect here on this pair. So the slight kind of strength in the US dollar is pushing AUDUSD to the downside. You can see that on Friday we saw a daily close. This daily candle remained below this upside support line taken from the low the 30th of June. So in a way, everything's kind of leading a little bit more to the downside here. However, what I'm going to keep an eye on here is this 0.7109 level. So I talked about this previously. So in order to aim for some lower levels, we need to see a nice good drop below this. Ideally, we would like to see the daily candle remaining here below this area, and then kind of considering a further move low to the further move south. For now, you can see that today we saw this this 21-day EMA acting as a very nice area of support from which the rate rebounded. However, the rate still remains below this upside line, so the bears still have a chance to excuse me, the bears still have a chance to drag this one lower. However, as I said, from our side, we would probably get a little bit more confident with slightly lower areas if we get a drop below the 0.7109 level. In terms of the upside, we would need to see the pair pushing back above the 0.7243 territory here, because as you can see, last week we had a few overshoots, but we didn't really have the daily candle remaining above this area. So that's why we'd prefer to see another move higher above the 0.7243 level in order to aim for the upside. US dollar against the Japanese yen. Here I can see that the pair last week it drifted lower, but it found good support near this 105.30 territory, which, as you can see, continues to provide decent support. Now, looking at this picture here from the very short-term perspective, now there is a possibility to see maybe somewhat of a possible bullish flag here. So we have our nice little pole here, and then yep, it could lead to some higher areas. However, as I mentioned to you guys previously, preferably a pushback above the 106 territory could do the trick for more buyers. And you can see that last week it did push back above it. In a way, there were some buyers who were trying to drive this one further north. However, they kind of found an obstacle here, which was the 21-day EMA. As you can see, they struggled to remain above it and then started drifting back down here. So on Wednesday, we saw this little kind of decline. Oh, sorry, not on Wednesday. On Thursday, we saw this little decline. Now, like I said, we'll keep an eye on the same area. We'll keep an eye on the same 106th zone, and of course the 21-day EMA. If we get a nice clearance of those two, then this could lead to some higher levels and potentially maybe a move back towards the high of the 13th of August here near the 107.05 level could be possible. So keep your eyes on that one. And we're not going to really drag this one way too much to the upside, because don't forget, we still have this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 24th of March. Quick update on GBPUSD. So here the pair is drifting a little bit to the downside. It's still trading above a few of these tentative upside lines. Now, they're all tentative, to be honest, because we can draw a bunch of it. I can even draw a third one here, taken from the low, the 20th of March. So it could be somewhere right here, basically. So in a way, for now, what we're going to do here is mainly focus on some levels. So you can see that the pair on Friday declined after it failed to kind of push above this 1.3284 territory right here, which is marked by the high of the 31st of December of 2019. So in a way, long story short, we would need to see a nice good push above that area in order to aim for some higher levels. And for now, guys, it is going to be a little bit of a difficult one here. Yes, we could see a bit of a decline here. However, we'll keep an eye on this little short-term upside support line taken from the low, the 30th of June, and if that provides a decent support, then we can see a nice rebound and a push higher. If you're more on the cautious side, you could just wait for a break above the 1.3284 zone and then aim for some higher levels. Now, if this short-term upside line gets broken, then there's of course a chance to see a bit of a further decline here to the downside. However, once again, we'll be very careful near some of these key support zones here, near some of these tentative upside lines, and then of course we'll take it from there. But for now, all eyes are on the 21-day EMA on the 1.3035 territory, and also on this little short-term upside support line taken from the low, the 30th of June. So let's see if we get a drift lower here, and if this area, all this area, continues to provide decent support. And finally, EURUSD. So the pair is drifting lower. So this scenario is working out for now. So we are seeing the pair kind of drifting well, it on Friday we can see that it drifted towards this 21-day EMA. We'll keep an eye on this 1.1725 zone, because if we get a further move here, of course this is the area, the first key important support area to watch, because as you can see, it acted as a fantastic support zone previously. So now let's see if we can do the same trick. If not, then yes, it could open the door towards lower areas, but of course we'll keep an eye on this upside support line taken from the low, the 14th of May, which could still provide a hold up here, and if the pair fails to move below it, then we could see a nice rebound and a push higher. So basically, in other words, for now the idea is something like this, guys. And so yeah, let's see if this is gonna work out or not. For now, like I said, we'll stick to this. Okay guys, I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time. So if you want to catch my video later on, my trader's tea time is always 13:15 GMT time. But for now guys, I hope you have a wonderful trading day, and I'll see you later. Stay safe.